The Mixed Mornings and More podcast with Steph and Shawn.
Now available daily.
Good morning, world.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It's still April. It's the 19th, the year's 2022, and we're right on time, 5:30.
Welcome back, Shawn. It's good to hear your voice.
Thank you. I'm sure you're happy that I'm back here, but I also might have brought this snow with me. I'm sorry.
Okay, I don't know if I'm as happy as I was when you say it like that.
I'm to blame. I'll take all the blame for it.
I'm going to put it all on you. I'm just going to pile snow and more snow. No, I hope more snow doesn't fall. Why do you feel that you're to blame?
I was down in Edmonton for the Easter long weekend, and it periodically snowed almost every single day. Like mornings we would wake up and we'd look out the window and check our car and be like, oh, it's covered in snow.
Oh,
and
man.
Nothing really stuck. I don't know.
Stuck around?
Yeah. Woo! Welcome back. But yeah, it periodically snowed for like 20 minutes overnight, whatever, every single day when I was down there. And when I got up here and I was driving, I was like, all right, not so bad. Look at this. It's like bright and sunny the whole drive home yesterday. And then this morning I step outside. I'm just like, oh, it's happening again.
Yeah, little did you know that the cloud was following you up the highway and being like, just you wait. I'm ready to unleash my snow.
Apologies.
Not accepted. I updated my phone the other day. And when you do that, there's some new things to get used to. And it kind of takes a while to remember how to like copy and paste and autocorrect and things like that.
Yeah.
And then there was also this, where my phone suggested me a photo album that I might like to look at.
Oh, yeah. Whenever they put together these, it's always so interesting what they come up with and the music they choose and everything.
Yeah. So this one was called Portraits.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, very nice. Okay. I'll see some photos of myself probably. And the cover photo was of my friend Genevieve.
Yeah.
And she looked great. It was a great picture of her. And then I pressed play on it, and it's like this soft guitar music and photos of Genevieve. It was just like a full-on album of every nice picture I've ever taken of my friend.
Did you send it to her?
Yeah, I said, I think my phone thinks I'm you, or it has a crush on you. And
you should have played it off and be like, hey, I put this together for you. Like, you should have just took full advantage of it.
I think that would have taken our friendship to a new level that I'm just not ready for. Like, I think she might have gotten the wrong idea. Driving through my neighborhood yesterday, and I am stuck behind a truck. Now, the speed limit in the neighborhood is 20, but this man is going 5.
Oh.
Like, in fact, my speedometer is not sure if it can even register a speed. We are going so slow.
5 is like the speed you go when you're not hitting the gas and it's just crawling along.
Yes, exactly. And so we are crawling together. He's crawling down the very middle of the road, and I am over in the lane where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, like, I don't know what you're looking for or what you're up to, but like, be courteous, pull over and let me pass. And so I can go 20 at least. And he just keeps crawling along, and I am bewildered at him. Like, I'm like, are you like scared a child is going to run out, or like, what is your deal? And so I think that he's being really cautious.
Yeah.
Until we come to a stop sign that he just ambles along through at 5 and turns. And I was like, you so cautiously got all the way here, and then you ran the stop sign? And then I saw it.
Oh, what is it?
His phone was in his hand.
Oh.
He was not being cautious at all.
He's on the marketplace. He was trying to find the address, maybe.
Like, come on.
I was going to say, like, you've always talked about how sometimes there's just giant craters of potholes. Maybe the suspension wasn't all too great, and he was just cruising along the road there.
Maybe. I don't think he was looking at the road at all.
No.
Like, now that we figured out that he ambled through a stop sign and then he had his phone in his hand, I was like, I don't know if he even saw that there was asphalt underneath him. I think he was looking at house numbers.
Yeah. You should have, you know what you should have done?
What?
With going 5, it's like nice and slow. You should have just gave him a nice little love tap at the back,
goodness.
and then just start honking your horn a little bit.
Plastic bumpers, Shawn. They're just all ready to crack.
Easter long weekend, usually a time to get together, friends, family, anything in between, and just have a good time, relaxation.
Yeah, I had a dinner date every night of Easter weekend.
Yeah, see, and that's what it's usually like, except for like this weekend I went down with my lady and I took Monday off because she was flying out. She has a wedding to go to over in England.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, and so instead of like going to her parents' house and having a big dinner, then visiting her sister, and then hanging out with her nephews, We didn't do anything. It was like back to lockdown 1.0 where we didn't want to get sick or anything before having to do like all the tests and stuff for flying.
What an interesting thing now. The world has changed so much. Like, usually you'd just be like, I'm heading out of town. Let's have a goodbye party. And now it's like, stay away from me and wear a mask when you're in my proximity.
Yeah, 100%. So instead of like, she didn't want to like get any sniffles. She didn't want to get a fever, anything of that sort. So was it a little paranoia? Maybe. But also it was just like a lot of like going for walks outside and then coming back. And we got we went on like a 90s movie binge as well. So Notting Hill.
Yes,
remember that
Julia
movie?
Roberts, Hugh Grant. I love that one.
Yeah. Good old rom-com back in the day. And then we switched it up another night and we did the Good Will Hunting as
Ben
well.
Affleck, Matt Damon, Robin. Like, you're speaking my language. I don't usually know anybody in movies. I know all these people.
There we go. Yeah. Good Will Hunting. That was like kind of like the OG, like men expressing their feelings. And it was like Matt Damon opening up to Robin Williams about like having a tough childhood. It's just like, damn, okay. It took like 20 years for this to catch on, but now men are finally expressing their feelings.
There we go. And did you express your feelings at the airport? Did you cry when you said bye to her?
We did. We shed some tears.
Aww.
And it was like, it's going to be 2 weeks till we see each other, which is like normal, but it's going to be like overseas, not normal.
Aw, too far away. Did she make it? Is she okay? Did she get past all the COVID tests?
She did. She's landed. She even did a nice little call this morning as well, just saying she's trying to power through because it's like 7-hour time difference. So she's not trying to sleep for the first day and just go to bed at a normal time. So we'll see how she goes.
I wish her good luck with that. Learning to drive is a bit of a mission sometimes. You have to find a friend that's willing to let you use their vehicle. You have to find them willing to be calm and collected when you're doing things wrong. And
You use a friend's vehicle?
what?
Learning to drive?
Yeah. Or your parents or something.
I was like, I had no friends with a vehicle. I had to lean on my parents.
For sure, when you're 16. But if you learn to drive when you're older, you wouldn't have your parents around.
Right. I just naturally assumed everyone wanted to get driving at 16.
Not everybody does. This lady in Wyoming, she decided to learn how to drive with her friend's vehicle, and he thought the best place to teach her was in a cemetery.
Okay. Interesting. Like, yeah, sure, it's not busy, but
Sure, it's not
there's
busy,
a lot of
but-
other things in play there.
Yeah, she knocked over 8 headstones.
No, see, that's some of
Yeah.
the things in play. A lot of tight turns, I feel, not wide lanes or anything.
And, like, my question is, did she knock 8 over in a row? Like, she just got on a roll and was like, I don't know how to brake. Or did she knock over one and then she's like, oh, right, sorry, back on the right path. Oh, there's another one. Like,
Yeah.
seems ridiculous. I can't believe that. And after you knock over the first one, do you say, you know what, actually, I'm going to drive us out of here and we'll teach you how to drive somewhere else, maybe in a parking lot without any streetlights that's just completely open and vacant in the middle of the night or so, you know?
Yeah. It's like they went to hard mode right away instead of doing like the open parking lot. Did you just naturally do like roads, or were you parking lot and then roads?
Roads first, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, my dad, we went to go like write my beginner's test.
Oh, yeah.
And then my dad drove halfway home, and then when it was kind of in our neighborhood, he was like, okay, your turn. And I was like, Dad, I can't do this. This is too scary. But
Yeah.
I did. I made it home and I didn't hit anything.
Yay, there we go. No tombstones for you. All right, think back to when you first started driving, Steph, 14, 15, 16, whenever it may have been, maybe later, maybe you were a late bloomer, and some of the things that you just kind of didn't really know. You can play along too, 780-791-1037. You can text or call. One for me was, I think it was a lot of bike riding for myself before driving and cartoons.
Yeah.
And this is going to sound so stupid because I never really knew how cars work, but I thought if you, like hitting your front brakes on your bike, I thought if you slammed on the brakes after driving pretty quick, you were going to topple over. Like the car was literally going to flip. And so when I got into a car for the first time, I was like, don't slam the brakes. We're going to kill everyone.
That's really scary. I can understand the fear with the bike analogy going with it.
And how ridiculous it actually, like, no, they're just brakes. They work.
How are we supposed to know that? I remember being really bewildered that the car was moving when I wasn't pressing the gas. Like, you know, you take it out of park, put it in drive, and then all of a sudden you're just going.
You're like, I'm not ready to go.
Yeah, I didn't press the gas. Why are you taking me somewhere? We haven't said let's go yet.
How long did it take you to figure out, like, I got to hold the brake the whole time? Like, real quick?
Yeah, real quick, but then real quick needed reminders as well. Like, all of a sudden I'm moving each time I'm putting it in drive. I'm like, oh no, brake.
I bet you, because of that, you were one of those people that was constantly, like, slamming on the brakes. I was like, Gugh,
yeah,
choked by the seatbelt every time.
I also remember, too, when I was learning how to drive, we were driving down a street and I fell in a couple potholes and the car was, and my dad was like, ooh, you know, like you make that noise. You can't help it. It just happens when you hear your car land in the pothole.
Yeah.
And he was like, Steph, like, come on, can you avoid the potholes? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem, Dad. So I keep driving and then I'm all over the road and I'm just on this tour and he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm avoiding the manholes, Dad. And he was like, that's not what I said.
Yeah, 780-791-1037. Can you think back to when you first started driving? Was there anything ridiculous that you thought was going to happen?
There's only so many times I can pick remind me later or update tonight when my phone asks to update its iOS system.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I did it over the weekend.
Yeah, did it force it on you, or was it just the constant reminders?
The constant reminders felt like it was forcing it on me. I finally was like, okay, fine, you can update.
I swear sometimes there's like a notification that comes in at night. It's like, we are updating your phone overnight when it is plugged in, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, pretty much. So I woke up on Sunday morning with basically a new phone.
Yeah, it goes over that whole screen, right? Like, welcome to your iPhone.
Which is terrifying because I woke up at 3:30 in the morning knowing I had to get up quite early, and I was like, hello, well, bonjour, like, it says all this stuff, and I was like, are you gonna still do my alarm when I need to wake up?
Yeah, am I still dreaming? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, and then when you're holding your phone after it happens, like, things are just a little bit different. Like, it feels like you're using somebody else's device. It's like, I still have all the apps that I needed, but they're just not quite how I like them.
Well, I went through this recently, too, because I wanted to get the new Instagram where you could do the chronological feed, where it's just like, as it appears. That's how it still doesn't do that, by the way. Mad at Instagram. But I updated my iOS to the new one. It was like 15 point whatever. And the thing that I noticed was, like, the text bubbles aren't rectangle anymore, they're more circular.
Yes, yeah, that's super weird. Also, I hate that it is always asking me to change my contacts' names.
Oh,
so
I don't get that.
Yeah, so I like to put in funny names for people. So like Jaron Vecchio, our old news guy, he's Jaron the King of News Vecchio. Or
wow.
My friend Lance, who has dreads, is like Dreadman Walking. And then it's like, Lance has a new photo and contact info. And it's like, no, this isn't Lance, this is Dreadman. And this is the King of News.
Stop trying to be proper over here.
Exactly. I've decided when I'm calling people and it's funny. Leave me alone.
I'm a funny person.
I was hanging out with some kids over the weekend and came across the weirdest game I have ever seen.
What were they playing, or what were you playing?
They were playing a game called Handemonium.
I heard of it. I've never played it myself, but I know it has to do with the tiny hands.
Yeah, it's literally like some sleeves that you put onto your arms and you hold these little sticks inside. Yeah. And then there's tiny hands and they give you tasks of what to do. And so these kids were trying to take off their shoes and socks.
Yes.
With these tiny hands. One of it was like to comb your partner's hair. So they were trying to comb their mom's hair. She was not having it. It just seemed like kind of gross. Like, I was like, I don't want to put my hands in these sleeves.
Oh, the tiny hands are some of my favorite things in life. See, I haven't played the game, but I've had the tiny hands before.
You have? And did you like stroke your face, like stroke your beard with them? Or like, what'd you try and do with them?
Just everyday life. It's just like when you go out in public, if you just like one hand's normal, so you catch people off guard, and then you have a tiny hand for the other. You just wave to them. You get good reactions.
Yeah, like terrified ones.
Want more of today's show?
Download the Mixed Mornings and More podcast.
Now available every weekday.